Hello YouTube, and welcome to an all new Elder Scrolls lore video. Today we're talking about why the Morag Tong assassins can legally kill people in Morrowind, a concept that really made no sense to me back when I played Morrowind for the first time. Since this won't be a long video, I'd say we delve right in. So, first of all, a bit of background information for those who haven't played Morrowind or the Elder Scrolls Online. Who exactly are the Morag Tong? Well, the Morag Tong are an assassins guild and one of the oldest that are still active on Tamriel. They were reportedly founded in the early First Era, in that they are older than the Dark Brotherhood, which is in some ways an offshoot and rival of the Morag Tong. But they are very different from other groups of assassins like the Dark Brotherhood, as their existence and functioning is enshrined in Morrowind's law. The Morag Tong are allowed, by law, to perform executions, so killings, within Morrowind. Any person in Morrowind can contact the Morag Tong and send a petition for an execution of an individual and payment for the service. The petition, depending on which person needs to be killed, then gets overlooked by either the master of a guild hall or the grand master of the entire Morag Tong organization. If it's, for example, a really important political figure or influential individual, then the Grand Master of the entire organization looks into it. Whether if you just want to have some local shopkeeper or local councillor killed, then a Master of a Guild Hall will look into your petition, as it's not an important enough figure for the Grand Master to look into. One of the things that they look at is, for example, whether or not a petition is worthy of the Morag Tong. Something like killing a beggar that just annoys you, they may consider below their stature and just turn the petition down. This means that mostly they execute people from the higher society and from important standings, and thus a common man is just relatively safe from the Morag Tong. If they accept the petition, then an honorable writ of execution is prepared and given to one of the assassins of the Morag Tong. From the moment that this writ is prepared onwards, the target on the writ, so the person that needs to be killed, is considered dead and will be executed as soon as possible. They are dead, they just don't know it yet, and the Morag Tong assassin needs to make sure that they are actually meeting their death. The Morag Tong assassin then goes to the target and kills the target. Then, when the target is killed, they must present themselves to the guards or any types of law enforcement. If they then show the writ of execution to those guards, or to whatever law enforcement they go to, they will be let go, as presenting the writ makes the killing of the target legal. Law enforcement then no longer looks into the murder and accept the fact that the target is dead. The person that petitioned the Morag Tong will also not be pursued by the law, so the person who commissioned the murder, as this murder, with an honorable writ, is a legal action. The writ that the assassin carries is essentially a get-out-of-jail-free card for killing that target legally. But it's only for that target, so killing guards, civilians or anyone outside of the writ is considered unprofessional and is in fact illegal. So while an assassin will not be jailed for the murder of the target, if they took out one of the bodyguards or something of that target, then the law can still jail them and process them for murder, as that murder of the guard or bodyguard was not legal. That's why the Morag Tong assassins need to be really skillful in sneaking, as especially when someone of higher stature needs to be murdered, they will often hire guards, and you can't kill the guards, because if you kill the guards, you'll be jailed, because that one is not legal. So this is very different from something like the Dark Brotherhood, which operates entirely outside of the law. The Morag Tong is lawful, and the honorable writs of execution that the Morag Tong executes are something which is accepted in Morrowind society. For a short time the system even functioned all over Tamriel, specifically during the late First Era and early Second Era, but at one point when Tamriel's nobility realized that this meant that each of them could become a target, then the Morag Tong became hunted across the entire continent, forcing them to retreat back to Morrowind, where the honorable writs of execution were culturally accepted, so they could still exist over there. That said, why is this legal? Sure, the procedures and the bureaucracy behind it make sense, but if we had this in the real world, it would basically result in chaos. Well, the legality of the Morag Tong finds its basis in the early days of Morrowind's great houses. It's said that in the early First Era, when the houses had just come into their existence, their rivalry was bloody and destructive. Each lowly house nobleman who had a quarrel with another house's noble simply raised a militia and then just attacked them, resulting in many conflicts on the land, and a stagnation of Morrowind's development as their land kept being ravaged by conflict and war. So at one point the Dunmer came up with a more elegant solution. Make the Morag Tong and their honorable writs of execution legal. Then, instead of raising a militia, you can just have the other person killed legally and be done with it. And since the Morag Tong has by law a completely neutral position, having to accept petitions from all parties in all houses, everyone, regardless of your position on the Morag Tong or regardless of your relations with the assassins, everyone can use their service. And since everybody can use their service, and so everybody can be killed legally or can kill legally, people will be forced to play nice with each other and not make conflict, thus guarding the peace in Morrowind with the threat of legal murder. It forces everybody to play nice with each other, as if you don't, you will be murdered legally by a very skilled assassin. Of course, there's a bit more nuance in this, as a Grandmaster and Guildhall Master of the Morag Tong play an important role in judging whether a writ of execution is worthy, meaning that they will not just accept everything as to prevent mass murder, for example, and to prevent complete chaos. But still, the system has served its purpose for Morrowind, as there has been extremely little inter-house military conflicts since the inception of the system, which was the goal of the system. Why have immense wars when you can just take the noblemen out that want to make the wars, right? So that's why killing for the Morag Tong is legal in Morrowind. I hope you enjoyed this short video. If you did, consider sticking around for the next Elder Scrolls lore video next week. Or if after this you're still in the mood for some more lore videos, then I recommend watching my video on Naruvirion, one of the Morag Tong assassins. In that video you'll learn a bit more about the organization as a whole and about one of their most known assassins. Now, before I end things, allow me to vocally mention my top Patreon supporters, Mr. Bernardo Binda, Gabriel Binda, Polarized Poutine, Sar Mikhail, Sword of Bushido, and Mr. Christmas. These remaining people, along with all the others on screen, keep this channel alive, and for that I am very grateful. That said, I will see you all next week. Bye bye.